Payal Nanjiani, international motivational speaker, leadership and business coach, and a corporate leadership trainer. And we are back with the second part of the video, our topic, how to influence people. Now, if you haven't had the chance to see the first part of the video, I strongly urge you, friends, to first have a look at that video, hear it out, take down all the notes that you have to, and then come back to this one, because they are synced and they are in sequence. So you may miss a few points if you haven't heard the earlier video. So go ahead, it's right here on the YouTube. Go ahead, make your notes, and then come back here. Now, for those who have already watched the first video, I'm assuming that you already know what levels of connections we have and what at what level we are supposed to connect with people. So for all of you, we are going to move ahead now with the second part of the video. How do you build your influence, right? How do you influence people? Now, has it ever happened with you that you meet someone and instantly, maybe instantly, or maybe after a few minutes, or after they are gone, you're like, hey, I really felt great after talking with her. Or maybe you meet someone and after they have gone, or within a few seconds, you're like, wow, I think I have a great connection with him. How does that happen? And why does that happen? That's because with certain people, we have built a lasting and a great rapport. Okay, rapport means that you are in total understanding with the person, you have built a harmonious communication, and you have a great connection. Okay, three things with the rapport. You have to make sure that you've had a total understanding with one another, you have actually built a great connection, and you are in harmonious communication. That's what is this is one of the most important tool to influence people. And let me tell you, friends, it is also one of the most neglected tool today. Most of us, while we are working in our corporate life, or we are in business trying to build, trying to sell our products and services, we get so engrossed in our daily routine, that we really forget to build a lasting rapport. Now you may say that, Payal, I already have a good rapport with my parents, with my friends, with some of my colleagues, some of my clients. I do have a good rapport. But look, friends, those are some people, some clients, some of my management team, some of my friends. This little few people are not going to get you to where you want to be. You cannot expand your business, you cannot influence more people if you are stuck in this ratio of having your rapport with some people. It has to be expanded. It has to be large. You want a large business. You want to expand your reach at your workplace. For that, you also have to make sure your rapport with people is expanded, that more people are embraced and more people are having that rapport with you. And there is a reason I say this, friends. Have you noticed the market today? In the era in which we are, where everything is available so easily, knowledge, information, trainings, everything. In the market in which we are, it looks something like this. It's crowded, really crowded. Whether you are whether you're a business owner or you are working in the company, you want to become the manager or the director of the company. There are 10s and 15 people standing in line, and just one of them is going to get the opportunity. You are trying to sell your product or a service in the market. There are millions of them today who are having the same type of products and services, and they are also in the same market. So the market is bleeding with information, and everyone is scrambling for opportunities. And this is exactly the place. Okay, this is exactly the place why where there is so much of stress, there is so much of anxiety. People are working under pressure. People are worried about the future. They feel that they feel compelled to compete with each other, and sometimes, in fact, very often in an unhealthy manner. So all this is going to lead to what? Is it going to lead to business expansion? Is it going to lead for you to climb up the ladder of the company? No. In fact, you will get stuck at a certain position, because this is the market in which you are. Yes, friends, I'm talking to you. You have to take that leap and be differentiated. And when I say differentiated, I don't mean on the basis, if you have a product or a service, I don't mean that you have to have a fab effect, which is, differentiate on the basis of your features, your advantages, and the benefits of your product or service. Or maybe, if you're a leader, you don't have to have this fab effect, because everyone in this market, right, which I'm telling you, where it's bleeding with information and it's scrambling for opportunities, this market already is doing the fab. They're all sharing the fab method. When you want to take that leap, you want to be distinguished in the way you influence people. And once you build that rapport, once you build that tight connection with them, I can almost assure you, friends, yes, friends, you will be on the top of their list. You're the one who is going to be remembered by them. In one of my videos, how do you expand your reach? If you haven't watched that, I urge you to watch it. I had explained in that what is one of the major tools that you can use today to expand your reach and stay on top of the mind of your people. You don't want to get on the bottom of their list. You want to stay on the top. You want to build that impression, that lasting impression. So how do you do that? I know if you have attended my live workshops, or if I have come to your company to give you trainings, you are very well aware of the fact that I go so deep into this topic of building a rapport, because I feel for leaders and for business owners, for teams, it is so imperative today to build a rapport with your people, not just to be there from 8 to 5 as a leader to work, or to just serve your clients. It's more than that. So how do you build that rapport? I'm going to speak to you about 3 today in this small video. It's going to be about 3 quick steps. But don't forget to share the video, because I believe that each of us can join hands and actually help people in their journey to success, friends. Because not everyone has access to these tools. Not everyone may have connected with me for these free tools. But if you know people who are on their way to success, who are in the workforce, let's help each other, because all of us have a very limited time in this journey, very limited time in this career life of us. So let's get the maximum, and my aim is to make people in their career life as successful as I can, people in the businesses to really expand, the youth who is starting their businesses to really grow and grow with speed and serenity. So help me by sharing, by liking, and with your comments, so that I know exactly where we are going. So here it is, the 3 steps to you building a lasting rapport. And your first one is connect with problems. Now, many of us, when we network with people, or when we are speaking with our bosses or our teams, we do connect, right? And remember the physical level communication that I spoke about. We usually communicate at that level. How are you? How's the weather? What's going on? How was the graduation party of your daughter? What's going on in the weekend? So that's basically like a general chit chat to just make each other comfortable. And usually what I have observed is that people then go ahead and start to discuss about the main issue, or what's like what they are in for the product or the service. For example, I'll tell you one of my clients. Now what had happened is she was going to give a presentation to the CEO of the company for her product that she had, and it was a skincare product that she would often sell. And when I spoke with her, she was taking the coaching with me for her presentation and for building up her sales strategy and exceeding the market. So I clearly remember one thing that she had mentioned to me was that when I have an hour to speak with the CEO of the company, I usually just get onto the topic, because I feel that he or she is the CEO of the company. I really can't waste so much of the time. So I get to business, Payal, immediately. And sometimes it's like a 5 minutes chit chat, and then I start to explain my product and what we are in, because I feel that time is valuable. And I think that's something which majority of us are doing today. Whether we are leaders of the company, or we are selling a product or a service and we are in business, what happens is we are connecting, okay? We are connecting at a physical communication level, where what we are saying is just a general chit chat. And then we start proceeding to the mental and the intellectual level, which is where we are explaining about the product, the service, or maybe the leader is trying to explain to the team what new project they are going to be doing, how they are supposed to climb up, and what they're supposed to do. So it gets down to business, okay? It gets totally nailed down to business. What has been missed here, friends, is the connection to the problem. Remember, every person live on earth, has a concern, has a need, has a problem, has a worry. If you can get to that, if you can know exactly what the person is worried about, if there is something that has happened in his past, or there is some concern he has about the future, if you can, fill that gap. There is a future here because of which he has an anxiety, and there is a past here that has happened, where he may have failed at something or may have not got to something, and there's that gap. You close that gap, help them to bridge that gap, connect with their problems. You will go a long way, friends, with your teams and with your business. Connect with their problems. The second one, repeat. Yes, friends, repeat. When they have told you their problem, so for example, if the problem is I just cannot, I really cannot bear this heat. It doesn't suit my skin at all. The problem is that the heat does not suit the skin. That's something that you have to connect with. Or maybe someone is like, I really cannot, I know it's really hard for me to explain to my team about the changes that the management does. That's it. You've got the problem. You know exactly what the problem is. The change in the management, and the team is not getting connected with it. That's it. You connect it. There is a future here, that there is a change in the management and what they're supposed to expect. And then there's a past that, the teams have never been, the teams are not accepting it. Build that bridge. Repeat it. Once you repeat their problems, you have come to what level? Understanding, a total understanding. Remember, I mentioned the three aspects of the rapport building. Total understanding with one another. Yeah, I understand your problem. I understand what it takes when the management changes and the team does not agree. Give your own explanation. Now, I know some of you may be feeling, oh, but I have been doing this. Then consider this, friends. How effective has it been? Did it lead you to that deal that you were looking for? Did it build that lasting rapport? If not, it means it was not done with interest. It was not done with complete interest. You have to go deeper in this. The more you know the problem of the person, the more you repeat it, the more connection you are building. Connecting with the problem is basically, what have you done? You have connected with the person. Remember, from the heart, it's the emotions you have connected. Every problem has an emotion connected with it. So now is when you are connecting with the top level of the pyramid, the emotional level. And when you repeat, what is happening? A total understanding of one another. And now you have to make sure that you come to the third one, the third step of rapport building. The third one to build a great rapport with your people is a tool called matching. Okay, you want to match the person who you are speaking with. Now, when I say match, I do not mean to say that you start copying every action of theirs. But you know what? Psychologically, people do like people who they trust. Okay, and who are like-minded. So you want to be like-minded with them. You want to build that trust in them, because again, that's where it's going to come to your communication level also, that you are having a harmonious communication with them. It's not wavering, up and down. You are on the same platform. So how do you do that? You do it with matching their tone. What is their tone like? Is it soft or is it loud? Is it is it full with worry or anxiety? Is it happiness? What's in their tone, friends? Catch that. Whether you are speaking with your teams or you are speaking with your clients, try and see what their tone is and match it. It does not make sense if your client is worried about something which you have no idea about, and you start selling your product. It just won't work like that. You have to make sure you match, you understand their tone. What are some of the words that your clients are using? When I give training, especially, whether it's a banking industry, whether it is the IT industry, I come to terms with their words. I get to understand what words do they use. I am not from any of the IT industry, but I make sure to embrace that. What are some of the words that your people are using, your clients, your team? See, friends, nowadays it's a complete global world, okay? So everyone has a different word to use for the same, which means the same. Catch those words, identify the pattern in their words, and you will build the trust and you will get into the rapport and the connection. How is their breathing? Is it very shallow? Is it nervous? Is it paced out? What about the gestures? Imagine if the person who you are talking to, it has the hands like this, and you are frantically, using your gestures, and you gesticulate with your hands. It does not, it just puts off the other person, because the other person may be a little more composed and a little more relaxed like this. Now that doesn't mean you become stiff and you stand like this, okay? What I mean is, if they aren't using the hands too often, limit the use of your hands. See how you want to hold your hands, see how you want to match them. The more you match with them, the more you are trying to bring them closer to your product, to your service, to your idea. And now, if you have, once you have got to these 3 steps, the first one was connect with the problem, repeat their problem, connect with that message. And the third is, what you can do is to match. So third is matching. Once you have come to these 3 levels, friends, you have built a connection with them at the emotional level. Remember our pyramid, at the emotional level. This is exactly now where you will not be worried about convincing. 90% of your time in rapport building and only 10% in convincing the person. You would have had a smooth journey until now. Whether you are selling, whether you are in sales, marketing, whether you are, into you're a leader, or you are trying to build a team, anything. Unless the rapport is not built, nothing can move ahead. And even if it does move ahead, at a certain point you will get stuck and someone will take it forward from there. So my aim is to make sure that you are successful in any endeavors that you are doing, and I would really want you to take action. And your action plan for today, you do not leave this video without action plans. Your action plan for today is, out of these 3, okay, out of these 3 tips of rapport building, I want you to write down to me in the comment box, or write down, in your notebook or somewhere, which one are you going to start with? Are you going to start with connecting with the problem, or, you're going to, connect with the message by repeating what they are saying, or you are going to start with matching? But one thing that you will start with, so that then you can build it up and take it to the next levels. Until we meet in person, I'll be back again sharing my journey with you, sharing your journey, and on the journey to success, we both are together. Wishing you loads of success for now. This is Payal Nanjiani taking off.